Yeah.
This one, now
Chat Night Africa. Welcome to Chat Night. Yeah. Chat Night Africa. Oh, Gaia. Welcome to Chat Night. We bring you good vibe. We shine on the light. Welcome to Chat Night. We bring you good vibe. We shine on the light. We all over the world. Chat Night Africa. Chat Night Africa. We all over the world. Chat Night Africa. Welcome to Chat Night. We bring you good vibe. We shine on the light. Welcome to Chat Night. We bring you good vibe. We shine on the light. We all over the world. Chat Night Africa. Chat Night Africa. We all over the world. Chat Night Africa. Chat Night Africa. Welcome to Chat Night. The only place that we give you good vibes. Chat Night Africa. Welcome to Chat Night. All over the world we are shining the light. Chat Night Africa. Welcome to Chat Night. It's not only for Africans. Chat Night Africa. Welcome to Chat Night. Promoting the culture of Africa. Chat Night Africa. This is the voice of Africa to the world. Africa's platform to be heard.
Chat Night Africa. Let's gang up, change mindset, and empower Africans. Are you ready? Africa to the world.
Hello. Welcome to this week's edition of Chat Night Africa. My name is Divine Chamakong. I am anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Over and over, you've heard that it's more blessed to give than it is to take. Not long ago, I ran into the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition. And this is a group composed of men and women dedicated to changing lives, dedicated to walking the talk. In just a moment, I'll have the pleasure to invite on the platform members of this distinguished group called Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition. They are poised to doing great things. They are poised to lending a hand to the hopeless. Just how? What is driving them to do so? What is the event that's coming up? This question, these questions, and more on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, join me now in welcoming Mrs. Carla Stone, who is the president and CEO of the World Trade Center in Delaware. This is Carla Stone. Hello, Ms. Stone. How are you doing?
We're doing fine in Delaware. We're very excited about this opportunity. And thank you, Mr. Divine, for inviting World Trade Center Delaware to be part of this lovely program.
I have to be the one to thank you for joining Chat Night Africa, Voices of Africa, Chat Night Africa, for the very first time. We're going to have a fun time tonight.
It seems like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I invite you to join Mr. Haji Doucouré on the platform.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Mr. Haji Doucouré, thank you for coming on Voices of Africa. We will have a wonderful evening on Voices of Africa. We appreciate you accepting our invitation to come take some questions.
Thank you, Mr. Divine.
You have you have some preliminary remarks for our viewers?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Divine, once again for having us tonight. I'm truly honored and humbled to be here, especially with our great partner, Ms. Carla Stone, the president of World Trade Center. We are excited to be on this platform to communicate throughout the entire Africa and the entire world about our organization, Delaware African Caribbean Coalition. We're here to serve people of African descent, both in our great state of Delaware, across the entire continent of Africa and the Caribbean. And once again, Mr. Divine, thank you for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you must have noticed already, we're going to have a real exhilarating moment here on Voices of Africa at Chat Night. If you're just joining us, we are talking to members of a coalition determined to making a big difference in the lives of the less fortunate. What are they doing? Where are they doing what? What are the drivers behind this act of magnanimity? We will be knowing that. We'll be hearing that as they come to share the experiences and what they are doing. Ladies and gentlemen, now the president of the coalition.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Divine, on this wonderful Lord's Day, to have we, the members of DACC, known as Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, and as our Vice President just said, Mr. Haji Dukre, one of our primary partner, Mrs. Carla Stone, who is the president of the Delaware World Trade Center. It's more than a pleasure being on the show tonight to enlighten people about DACC, who we are, and things that we have been doing over the years. Thank you, Mr. Divine.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Voices of Africa. And in case you just joined us, my name is Divine Chamukong. I'm hosting this broadcast from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. The broadcast is aired also live on YouTube. And the YouTube broadcast channel for Chat Night Africa is simply Chat Night Africa. Simply go on YouTube and you will watch this broadcast live. We will once again bring back Lady Carla Stone to explain to us how the Delaware World Trade Center is connected with what is about to happen. Ms. Carla, tell us a little bit. You are the CEO, you are the president and CEO of the Delaware World Trade Center. How are they connected to this organization?
World Trade Center Delaware is the premier international resource for business in Delaware. And our goal, our mission is to help companies, organizations, academic institutions, and individuals interact and conduct trade, business, and collaborate all across the globe. We are one of approximately 320 centers around the world with over 15,000 employees in almost 100 countries. So we work globally, and it is our honor to work with the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition to invite and to implement projects with their guests and with their business partners, academic partners, and NGOs that they may also work with. We are here to serve the people of Delaware, and that's why we're working with them. Aside from the fact they're just wonderful people to work with.
I have to also thank you, Lady Carla Stone, for coming for the very first time on Voices of Africa at Chat Night Africa. As we always say, Voices of Africa, not for Africans only. We will bring up at this point, ladies and gentlemen, the president of the coalition of the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition. That is Mr. Thomas Grant.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we all hear the last part of our name, coalition, Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, we were formed in 2017. And the primary goal, mission, vision of the coalition is to create a relationship between our state of life, Delaware, and our different African and Caribbean countries of birth. and beyond in the area of healthcare, education, economic development, cultural diversity, social integration, and also to enhance businesses between the continent of Africa with all people of African descent in the state of Delaware. That's who we are, and that's what we are all about.
We will come. I mean, I can see that you are all about doing great things for and with people of African descent. What triggered the decision to pick Nigeria and Haiti, and what will you be doing? What is your coalition going to be doing there, sir? We'll come back to the history and other areas of activity of your coalition, but explain to us first, how did you come about singling out? I mean, in Africa, there are 54 countries, if I'm not mistaken. In Nigeria, there are 36 states, if I'm not mistaken. How did you get to picking Nigeria out of 54 African countries, and why Kogi State?
Well, the thing about our the organization, the coalition, is this: when we set what we wanted to do, it happened that in the year 2021, that Kogi State in the Federal Republic of Nigeria is where we are now carrying out some of our work. However, when the coalition was formed in 2021, and the state of Delaware being the first state of the union, we then engaged and brought in the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia to come and have the state dinner, Mr. Boyka here, Joseph Boyka here in the state of Delaware. And I was the first of its kind. Thereafter, the next year, we were then approached by the country of the Gambia through the first lady of the Gambia, the current first lady of the Gambia, Fatoumata Barrow, which here in the state of Delaware and DACC, Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, in collaboration with the Children's Hospital, A.I. DuPont Hospital here in Delaware, we initiated a healthcare program in the country of the Gambia. Well, for this year, moving forward, 2021, based on our work that we have been doing, we were then introduced to Kogi State. And one of the things that we do say, we cannot come to any country in any neighborhood and tell them what we can do. But we say, what is it that you are looking for? What is it that is needed? That we can work with you and collaborate with you to make these things happen through our connection in the state of Delaware. So in many cases, what happened is that we don't choose places. They see our work and they approach us, and then we work with them to make things happen. That's how Kogi State came into play. Haiti have been one of the Caribbean countries that have numerous disasters. So we put up one of our projects. We call it Project Haiti. We are not taking any particular problem in Haiti. We are looking in everything in Haiti and how can we lend a hand in every different area. So Kogi State and Haiti are the two newest countries that we're going to be working in. However, we have and continue to do work in the country of the Gambia and also in Liberia, West Africa. So those Nigeria and Haiti are the two newest places that we are reaching out. Our primary is how can we go across the Atlantic Ocean? Many of us might have not been born within the state of Delaware nor in the United States. We migrated here and we have learned, and now we say how we can uplift our brothers and sisters across the Atlantic Ocean.
Thank you so much, President Thomas Grant of the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition. At this point, I'm going to bring Mr. Haji Dukure Help me pronounce the name right if I missed it. But we are going to bring him on now to give us some highlights of what event is coming up in the beautiful state of Delaware. By the way, I have to tell you that Delaware is one of the most beautiful states in the United States, quiet and very family friendly.
Absolutely, without any doubt. I mean, it's a gem. Delaware is definitely a gem. As we all know, it's the first state in the union. And to your question, where you ask why Kogi State, and as you know, Kogi State is the first state in Nigeria, and they have a very progressive governor there that really excites us. His vision, we are a big fan of the governor, his vision and the work that he's done in the state of Kogi. So when we forged this partnership with Kogi State, I mean, we did some research on the state entirely, things that have been done there. It used to be the most dangerous state in Nigeria, now to the safest state in Nigeria. During the pandemic, I mean, this governor took the time and built 7 new hospitals in the state of Kogi to help his people. So he's all about helping his people. Then we are about helping people of African descent. Why not start with Nigeria, where we have over 300 million people? To us, Nigeria is a gateway to the entire continent of Africa. Hence, we bring some of our best partners, the World Trade Center. They work across the world. They are involved in everything. So they are one of our biggest partners. They have good partnership and relationships all around the world. We bring them in to partner in this Kogi State project. How can we help Kogi State? How do we open up the gateway to Africa and the Caribbean to people of African descent? So that's where this Kogi State project is. We just started this project, but we've seen so many good things in the future to come.
Beautiful. What will you be doing when you talk about partnership? One imagines there will be some input coming in from the Kogi State in Nigeria. What's going to be, and I'm going to be asking Carla a question after you respond. What is going to be the role of Kogi State in this partnership?
Well, Kogi State is looking for PPP, public-private partnership relationships, all across the world. And when you look at the United States and Delaware, we have the best of everything pretty much to work with. Okay, so the partnership, that's some of the things that Kogi State is looking for. So we have areas where we try to focus in the area of education, agriculture, healthcare, and youth empowerment, and so many other different areas. But these are some of the areas of focus that we're going to be working with and how to help the people of Kogi State. Because over 60% of the states are under 25. So there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done with youth empowerment and engaging the youths in the states.
Carla Stone, an important event is coming up, and during which you'll have important personalities coming from Nigeria in view of this partnership, because as a result of this partnership, Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, you are the president and CEO of the World Trade Center in Delaware. What will you be doing to foster this partnership, which, in my view, is announcing great benefits both to the state of Delaware and Kogi State of Nigeria?
Thank you. Partnership is really our middle name in Delaware. We have what we call the Delaware model, and you can think of it as a 3-legged stool. You have government, industry, and this civil society sector, which is education, NGOs, the public, etc., working together. If you take away a single one of the legs, that little 3-legged stool will fall. And we, the World Trade Center, are a perfect example of a public-private partnership. We received some funding from the state of Delaware, and the General Assembly has designated the World Trade Center Delaware as a contact for international business relations between companies, international organizations, foreign governments, etc. And we also represent as a partner many US governmental agencies. So we are an example of the partnership. And on Tuesday morning, this partnership will be in full service to the people of Delaware, because we are launching the new trade opportunities with Kogi State, Nigeria, government leaders and business decision makers in Delaware and Nigeria. This breakfast will really inaugurate the trade, collaboration, and friendship between Kogi State, Nigeria, and the state of Delaware. Just this morning, I spoke with the Lieutenant Governor of Delaware, who will be there, and she is quite excited about this. I have received numerous emails over the weekend from people in business, other sectors about this. So we work very closely together with other sectors in Delaware across a variety of industries. Aji mentioned agriculture. Agriculture is Delaware's most important industry. 48% of the state is devoted to agriculture. Healthcare was mentioned. Delaware is a leading center for healthcare innovation in the United States, particularly in biopharma, medical instruments, medical equipment, and in the delivery of different types of healthcare systems. We have outstanding universities. They will be visiting universities such as Delaware State University, which has a world-renowned herbarium. And as you know, we are all dealing with climate change. So herbariums, being able to preserve seeds, plants, have libraries, if you will, of plants, of agricultural materials, is extraordinarily important for research and to make sure that these will be maintained in the future. These are some examples. And we are taking the delegation to the port of Wilmington. And I could talk a little bit more about that, as well as our airport. This will all be on Tuesday. It's a very full day, and we're very involved with that, and very pleased and honored that DAC has asked us to take a role in this mission.
What is it that, the World Trade Center, where you are CEO and president, what is it that you are doing to foster this partnership between this partnership between the coalition, the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, and Kogi State of Nigeria? While you are answering that question, I will be I will connect with the other guest again. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I don't know if you heard that we are having a huge event Tuesday morning, a breakfast and networking event for the delegation, and it will launch new trade opportunities with Kogi State, Nigeria, government leaders, and business decision makers. Nigeria's first woman ambassador to the United States also will join the Kogi State deputy governor at this November 16th breakfast event here in Delaware, in Wilmington. And this event will launch the trade, collaboration, and friendship mission of Delaware and Kogi State, Nigeria. We will be bringing together dozens of business leaders, academic leaders, and people from NGOs in Delaware to meet with their counterparts in Kogi State. We will also have the Lieutenant Governor will be speaking, one of our representatives will be speaking, and another example of the public-private partnership we've all been talking about is the Delaware Prosperity Partnership, which is a public-private organization funded by both the private sector and the state government, and it is our state's economic development organization. And they will be one of the sponsors also of the breakfast. Also on Tuesday, the delegation will visit the Port of Wilmington, which is very important to the economy here, as ports are in Nigeria, extremely important. And there is, in fact, Delaware-Nigeria trade. Also, our airport. And I think it's logistics are very important, as we all found out during COVID, during the shipping difficulties that are still occurring in some places. We are lucky they're not happening at the Port of Wilmington. And there's some really specific reasons for that. So we're going to be showing the delegation really about the supply chain, how products get from here to there and back and forth, and have them meet to discuss different ways that we can collaborate on making sure that that supply chain is unbroken between Nigeria and Delaware, both sides of the Atlantic.
What is it about Kogi State in Nigeria that you think the state of Delaware would be interested in?
One of the things I think that's very important is that the government, the government and academia and the business leaders are working together. This is a unique mission coming from Kogi State. It is made up of all three sectors, just as I mentioned earlier, that three-legged stool that we have, the Delaware model. It occurs in Kogi State, and that's unique among missions. Normally, you get people from government coming, or a particular business sector, or an academic group. Here, it's all three. And so the collaboration and partnership is happening. And that's really unusual in many countries and many states. And we really like working with that, because what it does is give everybody a common language with which to talk. So we're all on the same page. We all have a common language. And I think the other thing is that, as was mentioned, healthcare. During COVID, we at the World Trade Center assisted many, many Delawareans in terms of getting PPE or their products shipped overseas, or providing services during COVID. And we did it without charging a single penny for any of those services. And we did that because we felt the faster we as a world recover from COVID, the faster our economy will recover. And as was mentioned, during this time, while so many countries, so many governments were pulling back from providing infrastructure, a buzzword right now, but infrastructure to deal with healthcare, Kogi was doing it. They were looking at the overall infrastructure and service development and service delivery, rather than concentrating solely on testing or vaccines or quarantines. And that's very far reaching. And it's something that we can definitely learn and we can work with them on. That's just one example.
Wow, that's lots of things ahead. Thank you, honestly, for involving the World Trade Center in Delaware in what the coalition is doing. It's definitely a plus, and it adds to, quite frankly, it adds to what they are going to achieve. Hopefully, along the line, we'll be able to get Dr. Eunice Gwan-Mesia. I see her making efforts to join the show. As soon as we can see her in the green room, we will be able to bring her on. Time for me to go to Mr. Thomas Grant. Mr. Grant, let's talk about the choices, how you intend to initially start with the Gambia, if you want to take the Gambia or Nigeria, whichever you prefer, or Haiti. What concrete actions will be going on there? What are you going? How are you going to be felt on the ground by the man, the woman on the streets of Kogi State or in the Gambia or in Haiti?
Well, at DACC, we are self-funded. Our members of the coalition, in and everything that we do, we use our own resources that we have, and all we do is that when we are approached, is we ask government to please provide some security for our members when they go into come into the country, and that has worked very well for us. We have not received any grant or any endowment from anywhere, any source in any way, shape, or form. But because, as the president of the World Trade Center did lay out the benefits that people can get out of the state of Delaware, the numerous opportunities that are here in the state of Delaware, being the first state, is our primary goal is that when we sit with our partner, we say to them, hey, this is the part of the world that we have been contacted, and see how can we work with you, or how can you work with us. These are what they are looking for. In the country of the Gambia, the program through AI DuPont and the Moores Children's Hospital is helping baby breathe. And we found out that many times when mothers go to the hospital, be it whether they have prenatal care or not, there are many kids who may not really make it through. So AI DuPont is specialized in those particular areas. So they have provided medical doctors and other medical professionals to go along with DACC in the Gambia. In Kogi State have numerous resources, and as they were already pointed out, during the course of the virus that we currently have right now, Kogi State was able to construct, I believe, about 7 new clinics and a hospital in Kogi State for the well-being of the people of Kogi State. And when we heard about that, and when we were approached, the matter of fact, DACC for the very first time was able to have a liaison in Nigeria that worked with DACC and the government of Kogi State in this collaboration that we have right now. And gratefully, when we went and sat with the World Trade Center and lay out our plans and what Kogi State is looking for, it was well embraced, not just by the World Trade Center, but also by our dynamic Lieutenant Governor here, Dr. Bethany Hall Long, who is also a professional nurse, and that's an area that she loved to concentrate. So they embrace what we were doing in Kogi State, and that help makes it a little more easier. So when you can have government to team up with an organization such as ours, and also as the president of World Trade Center said, this is a new beginning. This is something that in many cases you have things that come down from the federal level, but here on a state level, in an organization such as ours, where people can trust our organization to then go into countries and help the needed. Our primary thing is that how can we uplift others? Because by the time we can leave the face of the earth, the best thing that we can leave behind is that we make the life of others a little better. So that's what we are doing. That's what we continue to do. And we're asking people, we're asking the world, we're asking Delawareans, we're asking any and everyone, please reach out to us, and whatever that you can lend to us in reaching this goal is highly appreciated. We are an organization. It does not matter where you have PhD, master degree, or doctorate degree, or you did not even complete high school or got a GED. You are embraced within our organization. What we ask for you is your talent. Bring your talent. And that's what we came up as our slogan. We are better and stronger together.
Better and stronger together. And our phone line is open. Anybody wants to call can dial the number 240-603-7367. 240-603-7367. If you dial the number, you will be live on Voices of Africa. And this is Divine Chiamukong anchoring this broadcast from Maryland, Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. I'm going to bring up at this point Mr. Haji Doucouré, who will give us some details, some of the ingredients that's going to mark this historic visit by officials of, it looks like I have somebody on the line. Hello. Yes, this is Dr. Gwanmesia. I was to bring you on camera, but for some reason, you're having connectivity problems. Anyway, we're glad to have you live on the program.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk a little bit about this this event that's coming up. When it begins, give us the nitty-gritties of the program, because people would like to know what actually the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition will be doing in Delaware this week.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share what we're doing this week. It is very exciting. I am the opportunity for this year. The chairman of the Delaware African Caribbean Coalition. I am also happy to say that agriculture, healthcare, youth empowerment, starting with the areas, the new director blueprint for state government, excellence. Very rich in resources, from agricultural resources to mining, and a lot more resources that we can partner and share those resources. So next week, they're coming here, a team of about 27, as a 27-person delegation, led by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Edward Onoja, will be here in Delaware, and with our partners, the World Trade Center Delaware, under the leadership of Ms. Carla Stone. And
just a second. Hello, Dr. Gwanmesia. Hello, Dr. Gwanmesia.
Yes.
Just to make sure that all the guests are hearing you very well. Carla, do you hear Dr. Gwanmesia very well?
Yes, I do.
All right. Okay, just to make sure. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So our Lieutenant Governor, Dr. Bethany Hall Long, we have all been working together to bring this to fruition. And while we were in Nigeria, we were able to get a Zoom call with our elected officials, including Dr. Bethany Hall Long, who is our Lieutenant Governor, our President of the World Trade Center, Ms. Carla Stone, members of the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, our Deputy Secretary of Agriculture, our Deputy Secretary of Deputy State Secretary as well. So now it's time for us to really put pen and to paper
to say, yes, we are really starting the straight a collaboration with our brothers and sisters across the continent. Because at Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, we believe that we're stronger and better together. And it truly takes a village to raise a child. So we're coming together as one unit so that we can begin to uplift and give hope to those who need hope. There is a saying in network marketing that if you were born poor, it is not your fault. But if you die poor, it is your fault. I beg to disagree. Because some people were born in certain parts of the world not by choice, and it is not their fault that they cannot make ends meet. So it is through these types of relationships and collaboration that we can begin to give those who are working hard but lack the resources to make ends meet.
Now, Dr. Gwan-Messia, before you go on, let me have Lady Carla Stone. You have a reaction to, on addition to what Dr. Gwan-Messia has just been saying. Dr. Gwan-Messia, please stay on.
Yes, I think that our business, our government, our academic leaders will benefit from meeting with the delegation as much as the delegation will benefit from coming to Delaware. One of the things I think is important to mention about Kogi State is that it is a transportation center. It is at the intersection of several rivers. So it's important to understand that there are similar interests between Kogi and between Delaware because of our logistics capabilities.
Okay, I'm not interrupting you, Carla. Just so that since Dr. Gwan-Messia is on the phone, maybe we'll have a conclude, then you react to what, because of air connectivity problems. Yes, Mr. Mumbali, my director of transmission, says there's some feedback. That's why I made some adjustments here. Yes, Dr. Gwan-Messia, are you hearing me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yes. So please, go ahead. We'll conclude with you, and then you can come back later on, no problem. And then we continue with the guest in the studio. But I want to say that we will be having another broadcast concerning they call that in the military, they call it after action conference, or as kind of just to assess what has gone on throughout the week. Yes, Dr. Gwan-Messia. Before you go on, let me see. This is what Beatrice Moma says. Awesome, inspiring. What a great initiative. So very proud of you. Linda A. Stewart, she says they were losing us, but it's fine now. And then, of course, we also are getting Dr. Gwan-Messia. You will just listen to me on the phone so that you don't have the echo back. Yes, so please, continue, Dr. Gwan-Messia, then we let you go.
All right, thank you so much. So as I was saying, that's why we're doing this, so we can continue to uplift others. And also, it's a win-win situation because Delaware as a whole will benefit and Kogi State will benefit as well. So next week, starting tomorrow, we will be watching the United States Global Leadership Coalition Summit that is led by our one and only Senator Coons. So tomorrow we will be taking part together, the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, the World Trade Center, and the Global Leadership Coalition. We are all partners in this, and it is super exciting that some of our guests will be able to watch live that event. And then on to the afternoon meeting with our Lieutenant Governor and some elected officials. Then Tuesday, Ms. Carla already talked extensively about the breakfast. We are excited. This is Kogi State Open for Business Breakfast and Networking at the Hotel DuPont in Wilmington, Delaware. We are super excited because, this is where they're going to share what their purpose and their objectives in the presence of business leaders trying to build those public-private partnerships that Ms. Carla talked about earlier. Then on Wednesday, we will be at my alma mater, the only Delaware State University, our one and only HBCU in Delaware. We will be visiting the garage. We will also be visiting the College of Agriculture, Science, and Technology, where we'll have presenters from the agriculture department, the biology department, and then human ecology department. Because if we think about really helping those less than 30 youth in the continent, we have to start thinking vocational programs, trade programs, things that will help them gain employment, or doing projects that would help those young men and women, especially women, in the continent gain employment so that they can build that economic empowerment. So that's what's happening on Wednesday. Thursday, we will be visiting some healthcare organizations. We'll be visiting United Way. DB Medical Center in particular has really embraced this effort and is looking forward to building some collaborative partnerships in the nursing, in the medical area, and also community health services. So we're super excited about that. We will also be meeting with United Way of Delaware. If you know anything about United Way of Delaware, they are the largest nonprofit organization in the United States. And I'm excited more so because it is the one in Delaware is led by, the CEO is an African-American woman, Dr. Michelle Taylor, and I cannot wait for us to see what potential is there. And then Friday, again, we will have our Hope Ball, helping others prosper everywhere. You heard about the shoes for Kogi State, the warm clothing for Delaware, the books to learn for Liberia, Project Haiti, and what we have been able to accomplish in the Gambia from a program called Helping Babies Breathe, helping to lower the rate of infant mortality. Now we're working to help to lower maternal death because we still have that as a high thing. So we're implementing Helping Mothers Breathe with our partners from AI DuPont and around the world with one of our doctors down here in the South, Dr. Cindy, who has traveled with Dr. Raab from AI DuPont and their team and some medical students every year to the Gambia to help see that these programs are well run and also train the trainer. Because there's one thing we must remember. When you go to someone's home and help them learn something, you have to help them in a way that they can continue to help themselves, because we're not always going to be there. So that's one thing we have to remember. And when we look back at history, how far we have come from slavery to now, we are but all of the human race. Unfortunately, history occurred, but we cannot continue to hold on to history. What we need to do is do things like what we're doing right now, building intentional, sustainable, collaborative partnerships so that we can continue to give hope to those who do not have hope, to those who did not ask to be in the situation that they're in. And in that process, we are also helping those of us that are doing that by gaining employment in both areas of the world. So together, we are one. And yes, it takes a village to raise a child. So I am super proud of the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition, of the World Trade Center Delaware, of our Lieutenant Governor for embracing this, and the entire state. Trust me, this week will be moving in Delaware because we know how to share resources. We know how to give back. And that's just who we are, the first state in the union. So if you have not bought your tickets for either the breakfast, please go on and buy them now. And I believe, Linda, you can put in those links on the chat, please. Go ahead and get your ticket for the breakfast. And then after you do that, you want to get your ticket for the ball on Friday. We haven't partied since COVID. We are going to show you how to party on Friday. So we're partying for a good reason, for a good cause, for the purpose of raising funds to help with all the initiatives I just talked about. So please, if you haven't done so, do that. You could either get your tickets through Eventbrite, and if you cannot join us, please make a donation. You can either make a donation through our Eventbrite link or our PayPal link. And for the breakfast tickets, go on the World Trade Center link, as Linda is going to put on the chat, a shortened link for you, because I don't want you doing too much work to find the link. So please come out. Let's unite. Let's stop the rhetoric. Let's just be one, because we're all human. It is only the external differences that truly separate us. But internally, we are human beings. So thank you so much, Need Divine, for having us on Chat Night Africa. And thank you all for those who are watching. We invite you and your friends and family to join us in Delaware this week. If not for the breakfast, join us for dinner, and just see how we do life in Delaware and business. Thank you so much.
Dr. Gwanmesia, that's beautiful. And honestly, what the everybody is sending you all kinds of I don't know, that effusively thanking you. Mumbalingwa, who is my director of transmission, says this is just amazing. Boy, I could go on and on. Barrister Aneneba Akufo also just sent a comment, and he says, "Great guest." Let me put it on the screen. Great guest with the type of partnerships we all need. The world is one village for the goodness of humanity. Thank you, Aneneba Akufo, for your beautiful feedback. I have to tell you, gentlemen, that one of the things that Dr. Gwanmesia says that kind of strikes a chord in me, he says, she says, and I paraphrase, like the Chinese say, teach people to catch instead of believing that you can keep catching fish and giving them. I think she said it so well. Who wants to add maybe President Grant? You want to add to what Dr. Gwanmesia just said?
Well, there's a good reason why we, as members of DACC, are so pleased and proud, not just of what we do as a group, but individually what we are bringing to the table. We believe that when you come and have some value and make whatever we have, let's make it work, let's make it happen. Dr. Eunice, we asked Dr. Eunice to be the chair of the Kogi State Project. Dr. Eunice is also our education and culture chair. And she always talk about diversity. And when we asked her to chair the Kogi State Project, we know within ourselves, and we felt that the right person was at the helm, the right person was at the wheel, the right person was to get us and bring that message that we have all put together. When my colleagues at the beginning of the year asked me, many times people say elected or as president of the organization, I thought about what to say, what that we can build on over the course of time for the year. And only one single word came to my mind about 5 minutes before we were installed into office by our Lieutenant Governor, Dr. Bethlehem Harlong. And that word was hope. And we have used the word hope to build on. Just as Dr. Eunice said, hope. Help others prosper everywhere. That's hope. The second way of hope. Help other people everywhere. And that's what we are building on. And when Kogi State came, we just took that hope. And that's what we are calling this hope board. And when you add what our projects are for 5 different countries, when we say books to learn for the country of Liberia, we're only trying to expand that. Because one of the things that we found in many of our different African and Caribbean countries, the lack of libraries we do not have. So we wanted to start small with books to learn, with the mind and making this beginning a vision, a reality, and a great success, where we can begin to build libraries in the different countries that we are engaged with, for students to be able to go and do added research. The continent of Africa, the Caribbean countries, we are all, like the saying goes, once you are a Black person, you are an African. We are one. One of the things I always said, our quest for education as a people was very high. But now we need to use what I classify as our application, what we have learned, how we can apply those things. And in applying it, apply it that you can uplift others. That's who DACC is. From 2017 to now 2021. Our goal, our vision, and please, we don't want to limit it. So others out there, for what we have begun. Another thing I say to the folks is this: if anyone can show me anything that someone improved on that no one started, I speak no more. Let me repeat that. If anyone can show me anything that someone improved on that no one started. So we as DACC, this is what we have started. These are the engagements that we have. We are asking, like Dr. Eunice said, if you cannot make it to the ball, your donation will be highly appreciated. So we have started what we have started. Come, join us, be a part, and let's improve on it to make it better. Because as DACC, we say, we are stronger and better together.
Wow, that's a beautiful presentation right there. You are watching Voices of Africa. I will be bringing momentarily all the guests who have come up on the platform for the closing remarks. This week, even today, people have been celebrating their birthday. This week, people celebrated different birthdays and so on, marriage anniversaries. And we always join you celebrating your birthday today, or if you have been celebrating this week, to say,
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
this is something for you. And we will be right back with the guest.
This one, not money can.
If you've been celebrating your birthday today, if you celebrated your birthdays this week, we are wishing you happy birthday from Voices of Africa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, oh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you if you celebrated your birthday today or you celebrated this week. Okay, thank you so much, the Mannequin Beats in Yaoundé, Cameroon, for that beautiful music. Again, that was for those celebrating the birthdays today and those who did this week. Ladies and gentlemen, we will bring back our guest one more time to wrap up their concluding remarks. Again, this is not, I want to insist, this is not the last show we are doing with the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition. You see, they're doing great stuff. I mean, this is a novelty by all accounts. Now, join me one more time in welcoming Carla Stone to the platform.
Thank you very much. This has really been an honor. And I have to say that working with DAC is a wonderful, wonderful experience. They are knowledgeable, they're enthusiastic, they they just give from the heart, and they're also their expertise is amazing. So it's been a real pleasure. I do want to say this is not the first nor the last time that we've been working with DAC or with the continent of Africa. We take, and we're hoping to do again this year, companies to the U.S. Africa Business Summit, which is the largest event involving the U.S. and all of the countries of Africa. And if I could also mention that at our annual gala in December, we're bringing in the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Minister of Trade for Botswana, and a whole delegation. So we believe that now is the time to form relationships with African countries. Africa has 6 of the 10 fastest growing economies in the world. They have a young population, they have resources. Education is very, very important in Africa. And I think that it behooves Americans in particular to learn about African countries. There are 54 of them, and they're all different. And to make sure that you begin to develop ties, that you begin to go over the bridge to Africa, because we can learn as much from them as they can from us. And we say that there is prosperity and peace through trade, and trade, not aid. To be sustainable, as Dr. Yunus said, it's a matter of training the trainer, teaching somebody to fish, not handing them a fish to eat for just that one night. It's very important. So we want to see a 2-way, or in the case of the African continent, a 55-way relationship. And again, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. And on behalf of the Board of Directors of World Trade Center, I would also like to say thank you very much.
Kala is now a partnership between your Trade Center and Voices of Africa also. Have you been to Africa yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. So you understand the warmth with which you get received when you arrive in Africa.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's very helpful.
All right. Let me tell you what President Obama said when he traveled to Kenya. He said, you know what? I love Africa because when you come here, everybody is calling you Uncle Obama, Uncle Obama. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kala.
Thank you.
It truly was a pleasure having you on our platform for the very first time. You'll be coming back again anyway. This is the last time. Our friendship is only growing. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And at this point, we bring President Thomas Grant for his closing remarks.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Divine, and also for even saying that this is the first. This is not the first. This is not just the first and the last, but others going to be coming on during the course of the week. I also want to mention that DACC just recently this year in July, we have a very official partnership with a church here in Delaware, which is the Canaan Baptist Church. And when that partnership came and we went to service, it's a proud thing to know that the entire church congregation, headed by the Reverend Dr. Christopher Bullock, announced in the church that the third Sunday of every August is going to be known as DACC Sunday in his church. That means a lot to us. That shows appreciation for what little that we have, that we are bringing forth with honesty, with enthusiasm, with being able to really want to help others, is also being looked at by other entities, by bigger organizations. And yes, this is the beginning of the beginning. And I will just close and say, this is a vision. This vision can only become a reality if we all work it together. The thing about visionaries, many times, visionaries, when they are off the stage, are no longer around, that when people can really understand what their vision was. But in today's world, many years ago, we all never thought that we can, right now, in different locations, and we can communicate to the world. That was a vision. So the vision that DACC do have is what we are letting the world to know, to advance the interests of people of African descent in Delaware and beyond. Thank you for all those that came on to listen to us. Your support, never think that it is too small. For as the saying goes, every drop of water makes a mighty ocean.
Thank you, Mr. Grant, for coming on Voices of Africa for the first time. Again, you guys will be coming back after the event so that we can hear how it all went, what the delegation from Nigeria, what their impressions, their feelings were. So thank you so much for coming on the show this evening, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And we will now hear from Mr. Haji Dukuri, who is the Vice President of the Delaware Africa Caribbean Coalition. Join me now in welcoming him. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Divine. Thank you, Divine. Thank you so much for having us. As most of the guests and my partners and friends alluded to, we have great partnerships in Delaware. And we could not have done everything that we're doing in the continent of Africa and in the Caribbean and in our state of Delaware without our great partners. I mean, when we started some of the projects, we have great partners in AI DuPont Hospital, for instance. Talking about AI DuPont, they have a great doctor that leads the international program called Dr. Christopher Rabb. Dr. Rabb is taking 5 trips to the country of the Gambia. And these are not just ordinary trips. He went with over 10 to 12 medical professionals at every trip. In every trip, as we alluded to, they go to train the trainers. So they pretty much hit the entire Gambia. They train professors, they train doctors, they train nurses, they train midwives. As Dr. Eunice Guamesa alluded to, the program called Helping Babies Breathe and Helping Mothers Survive. It's been a great, great success in the country of the Gambia. And we cannot be more thankful than for our partners in AI DuPont and Dr. Rabb, and some of his great partners, Dr. Cindy. We have other partners like National Stop the Violence, Dr. Connie, that we work with locally to help bridge the gap between our community and law enforcement. I mean, I can go on and on here talking about partners. You have one of them tonight, Miss Carla Stone, the president of World Trade Center. She is amazing. She's been amazing to work with. Our elected officials in Delaware, the governor, the lieutenant governor, our senators, Chris Coons, Senator Kappa, our great county executive, Mr. Matt Myers. He was with us in the Gambia in one of these trips to see what the doctors were doing in July. I mean, I can go on and on. Our legislative Black Caucus, the support that we're getting is just unbelievable. So we can be more thankful. So I can go on all night just calling partners. But I'm so happy, Mr. Divine, that you said you're going to have us back. I mean, we need to come back. There's so much that we're working on.
You know why we bring you back?
Absolutely.
I want all of you to know. You see, when you take a jar of honey and dip your finger inside, put it in your mouth. It tastes so sweet. You go for number 2.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
How can I not bring you guys back? I mean, look at the depth of information, the scope of your magnanimity. I mean, it will touch every heart. You are touching the lives of people in the streets of Africa and Haiti. For that reason, you will come back.
Thank you. We'll gladly come back. We'll gladly.
Right. Because the mantra here is we want to talk. We want people like you, people like Carla, people who are doing ordinary things, but in extraordinary ways. Because at the end of the day, when we are no longer here, people will ask, what did we do to put a smile in the face of a fellow human being? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Let me give you 30 seconds to conclude.
No, that's great. It's great. I mean, I just wanted not to take the focus off our partners. I mean, we've not been doing this alone. And we thank the good Lord also for the energy and the strength and putting us in this position and in this place. And I'll be missed if I don't thank the members of DACC. We have an amazing group of men and women, young men, young women. I mean, these guys put in their time, and our president alluded to, we've not received a dime from anybody, not a single penny. Every one of our members, this is voluntary. They spend their own funds. They spend their fund to make trips, to go over and get things done. I mean, gee, where can you find a group like that? But we have it in Delaware. All right. Thank you.
Wow. On Voices of Africa, we keep our word. This great team will be coming right back, and soon. That'll be the coming days. Thank you, team, for the formidable job you are doing in Delaware. You make me want to relocate and do the show in Delaware. Thank you so much. I want to thank my producer out there, thousands of miles. He is in Lagos, Mr. Ze Roger Full, who's been producing this program, this broadcast, right from Lagos, Nigeria. I want to thank all the people in the United States, across Africa, who are watching this show. We have it in our channel, Chat Night Africa broadcast channel on YouTube. You can also find that on our broadcast page on Facebook, Chat Night Africa. It will also be on our broadcast website, Chat Night Africa, www.chatnightafrica.net. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Divine Shamakon. Thank you. I love you so much. When I come, I don't want to go. But every good thing has an end. I'll see you soon. Merci à tout le monde. Au revoir. And that's how, on this note, of course, we say goodbye to everyone. Bye for now.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming. Coming to get down. I'm coming. I'm coming. Coming to dance. To dance. We're gonna dance. We're gonna dance. We're gonna get down. We're gonna get down. We're gonna party. Party hardy. We're gonna boogie. Boogie woogie. And when we jam, it's out of sight. This song right here, it's dynamite. I'm ready. I'm coming back.